All right, so episode one, we are here with Sam, who I've been playing with for over a year now and has agreed to join us on this adventure. So, Sam, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Hello. My name is Sam. I am. Shit. I don't really know what to say here. We'll edit this.
Family friendly.
Yeah. Family friendly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hi. My name is Sam. I've been playing D&D for a few years now, both from the perspective as a player and a DM. So I have a lot of chances to really explore what like 5th edition has to offer, as well as like make some really cool character combinations that like many D&D players, I'm always looking for a chance to play and experience in a campaign or one-shot setting, even if that one shot has them dying painful, horrible deaths at the end. But regardless, I'm really excited to see what happens here. As probably some of the other players that'll join us are going to say, I'm a bit of a rules lawyer, but that just comes from my passion of the game. But that does not mean that the rule of cool does not exist in my book.
Awesome. So we'll just jump right in here to episode one. So the hook I gave you guys is that you are level 6, and all I said was you're going to a small town that has a problem, and somehow you got notified of this, that they are looking for either a person or a group of people to find what has been or investigate what has been going on and stealing some of their livestock in the town.
Yeah, so in today's episode, I will be playing a Mountain Dwarf Barbarian named Crom Stonefist. His subclass, since being restricted to Tasha's, I've seen the Path of the Beast used, and I've been really curious to see the effectiveness ever since it was a UA and playtest material for the Wild Surge Barbarian. So I really like the randomness, the randomness, and the interesting features that it has both in combat but also out of combat as well. I'm always fond of characters and classes that can give you some utility outside of combat. Though combat is fun, when you get to those points of either exploration or puzzle solving, it can get a little bit dull if all your character is good at is swinging an axe, or in my case, a maul. So I'm really excited to see what some of like the extra features leading up to level 6 for my character has to offer for the subclass and for the character, and I'm really excited to see how it all turns out, especially with the items that I've chosen for this one shot.
Well, let's go back to the subclass and just, I guess, give a little bit of how do you see your flavoring as you play the character as the different abilities activate.
Oh, for sure. So, one of the main abilities that I really like that the subclass adds, like right at level 3 when you choose it, is magical awareness. It kind of acts like a detect magic to a lesser degree. And my thinking is my character has this big plume of like blood red hair and a mohawk, and I thought a really cool way to like kind of like use that magical awareness is depending on what magic item or magic or spells he senses around, he can tell what class or what school of magic is from, and having his hair change color to resemble that um, school of magic, I think it would be really cool. I was also thinking of like the body paint and tattoos he might have, but I
Okay.
think like just seeing this like giant red plume of hair maybe turn like blue or yellow or something just randomly would definitely bring a lot of attention to the character. I think would just be a funny mechanic for flavor text.
So it's going to be like a raging ball of mood ring.
Very much so, especially like when he rages and stuff. I think yeah, when he rages, I think the hair will definitely change as well, since you have like 8 different surge activities to choose from when you roll, when you go into a rage. So hopefully I'll be able to, since I have 4 rages, so I'm hoping to use all 4 to just explore what I have to like use and like see how that can then fit into the campaign and also the combat in question.
Gotcha. So do you see this as pretty much a straight up frontline tank fighter?
Yeah, like when I look at like the character, like he definitely has utility outside for like detecting like magical traps and like just magic items in the area or like that, as well as just adding like a good bump to like ability checks as well as attack rolls outside or inside combat. Like there's some good utility there, but in the end, he is a barbarian, so he's definitely going to be upfront in your face with his two-handed maul, just going to town and just like taking the blows for some of your casters or surrounding characters in the field with you.
So when you were leveling up, did you take a feat or did you do ASI?
I did take a feat. The feat was also from Tasha's as well. It's one that I've been looking for to use for a while. It's the Crusher feat. This feat is one of 3 similar feats added for like the 3 physical attack features in the game that was added
Mhm.
for pierce, bludgeoning, and slashing. Crusher is for bludgeoning alone. I feel like it has a lot of potential for field um, mobility as well as like kind of controlling and the playing field. Like one of the main abilities that like never has a cooldown or a set number of times you can do is if you hit a creature that's no larger than one size than you. So for me, it would be a large creature. I can literally move it 5 feet in any direction I want, like literally smashing it with my maul and moving it to the side. And I feel like that's really good. Like, oh, if someone's like a little bit outside of like an AoE fireball, or like, oh, it's like outside of a straight line. Nope, I'm gonna put you right back in line. And with the multi-attack feature, I can easily do that as well with moving you up to like 10 feet or just moving you across the battlefield how I will get you away from someone I don't want to damage. So there's a lot of control there with that feat alone that I like. Not to mention if you score critical like with all the slasher and the piercer feat as well, you get a little bit extra umph. And with this one is all creatures have advantage on attack rolls against them. So especially if you're a ranged fighter or you don't have flank mechanics, this is a really good way to get some good, nice crits in and like really feel like you're doing like a good bit of damage, especially at the most unique of times.
Nice. And then finally moving on to the last thing, this bolstering magic, where you're going to be able to bolster your companions.
Yes.
Again, on the flavor on that, is he going to be pulling out his hair and giving it to people, or what are you thinking? How is this bolstering going to take effect?
That is honestly, it's a really good question. I haven't thought too much about the actual like flavor text and like how he bolsters like the person or the creature with his ability. Whew. Honestly, that's a really good question. I think
Okay.
you'll have to wait for the episode to find out more, but I
Okay.
definitely will have a little bit of flavor text for that. I feel like you do have like yeah, you will like our bard will have his inspiration, for a barbarian will have my rage, and other classes have unique features and characters for it. But I feel like the real fun of a subclass and of a character and just of D&D itself is just putting that flavor text in there to make something like your own. Like you can have 5 clerics playing together in one, and they all have like could all be worshiping the same gods, but just flavoring them differently can make them vast and different fun characters that are personal to you. And I feel like that's where the magic of D&D really comes into.
Right. And I think as these one shots, we'll all get a chance to explore all the different subclasses
Oh,
that, maybe not all
definitely.
of them, but quite a few.
I'm one of those people that have like 20 characters made up, so it's just like I'm just flipping a coin and going through the list to see which one to play next.
Right.
Like I had someone who was playing a ranger who was doing like one of the new classes from Tosh's, the not the Spore Ranger, but I think
Was
it's
there a
like
Drake
the
Warden in that
oh,
one?
not the Drake Warden, but this was the
No.
Swarm.
Oh, right.
It got published in Tasha's, and their Swarm, like it could be anything you wanted. So like a lot of people do like maybe like mosquitoes or bugs. They did flying velociraptors just for fun.
Huh. All
And I
right.
feel like, and it just added like really cool moments, especially when they got the famous killing blow on the monster. They just got to like really describe how the flying velociraptors got to do their thing and just brought a lot of uniqueness and joy for everybody at the table,
Right.
including the person.
And I know,
That's where the
as
fun is.
me as a forever DM, I'm always doing that, and so I did manage to get one shot in last year where I got to play an artificer,
There we
and
go.
I flavored everything around food. So
Oh, nice.
anytime I did something like a boost to an ally, it was like a little skittle or something, and so
Okay,
it is
I like
fun
that.
to do that kind of odd stuff that you wouldn't normally see in a fantasy type setting. But
No, yeah, Artificer definitely has like a really good options for flavor text since all their magic is like something that's not typical magical. It's very much like a mechanical structure or some type of like man-made thing that's like so sky's the limit really when it comes
yeah,
to like creating
and hopefully we'll
the
get a
options
chance
for
to see a
that.
few of those. So.
Yeah, I think we get.
Um,
I think one of our players is playing an Artificer in this
oh,
one, so I can't
perfect.
wait.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
you're
we
my
go.
first one for episode 1, so we'll get to the others here eventually.
Nice.
So yeah, just to wrap this up, then I guess what brings Crom Stonefist to answer the call of the small town to investigate what's going on?
Well, his backstory is that of like a gladiator and gladiatorial, kind of like professional showsman of sorts. His charisma isn't that high, but what he makes up in his lack of, like, talking and like talking back to like the crowd or like to egg on his opponent. He talks with his fists and his maul. He's very much the go in, get get stuff done, and then get out, and the crowd loves him for it. He's very mysterious and elusive like that. But even though that is the case, I feel with Crom, especially with dwarves, they have a strong sense of family and kinship and loyalty. And so when he's in this town that he's been performing in for so long, and he starts hearing that some of the people's livelihoods are like their livelihoods is going missing and it's affecting the town, he ends up intervening, especially with small matters of that sort. So definitely intervening on the town and like kind of like helping the common man that he performs for every week or every day is kind of like something he would do, like not even for profit, but just on the side, just being the character that he is.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to killing him. So.
I look forward to watching him die, but I'll get used to this. But yeah, thank you for inviting me on this journey, and I really look forward to playing Crom Stonefist as well as many others for the episodes to come.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sam.